NFL fans, welcome back to another episode of the J All Day Sports Show. There's only 2 games left of this NFL season, and they couldn't be any better. The Buffalo Bills on the road taking on the Kansas City Chiefs, and those surging Washington Commanders on the road taking on my Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to give you my predictions with scores. Let's get into it. NFL fans, I just want to say thank you so much for all the support you've given me over this season. I've had so much fun with you guys chopping it up and talking ball. I am very excited about these 2 games. 4 really great teams, 2 incredible games. I cannot wait to break this down for you guys. Thank you guys so much again for all the support. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It does really help us get into that YouTube algorithm. First, we're going to start off with some key injuries for the Buffalo Bills. Christian Benford and Taylor Rapp, guys. Benford, he's a little more seriously injured, right? He's in concussion protocol. I don't know if they're going to speed it up because it's the playoffs, try to get him through it. That remains to be seen, but missing him would be a huge loss for the Buffalo Bills and the defense. And then Taylor Rapp, the safety, he's dealing with a hip issue. It's day to day, so I don't expect him to miss this game. And then for the Commanders, starting right guard, their best offensive lineman by far on a pretty mediocre offensive line, Sam Cosmi, he's done for the year. Knee injury, he is out in this spot. And the backup, 47 PFF grade coming into this spot. Not looking good for the Commanders from an offensive line perspective. And then the Philadelphia Eagles, Quinyon Mitchell, the starting cornerback, dealing with a shoulder injury from that collision with Matt Stafford early on in that game. Isaiah Rodgers came in to replace him, and he got targeted early and often in that spot. That would be a huge hole for the Philadelphia Eagles to fill if Quinyon cannot go in this spot. Reports are suggesting that he avoided a major injury, so that's good. We'll have to see how it goes moving forward with Quinyon Mitchell. The Chiefs, of course, got out of that game unscathed. So we're going to break down the first game. Washington Commanders versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are 6-point favorites at home. We'll have to see what the weather is looking like in this spot. They're probably going to avoid a major snowstorm like last week, but the Commanders' defense has given up a ton of yards and points over the last 5 or so weeks. They're the 29th ranked defense in the NFL. It doesn't look good for them. They're really bad against the run. 3rd worst team in the NFL against the run as well. They're giving up so many yards on the ground. Even in that win over the Detroit Lions, they gave up a ton of yards to the running backs and the wide receivers, but they were able to get some timely turnovers. So in order to see who wins this game, the turnover battle is going to be very interesting. They split the season series 1-1, but the Commanders scored 22 points in the 4th quarter versus the Eagles to get a W. Fangio's defense kind of fell apart. And remember, Jalen Hurts got hurt early in the 1st quarter there. Kenny Pickett had to come in. Then he broke his ribs and was playing with broken ribs. So take that with a grain of salt, guys. I'm expecting Vic Fangio to really dive into that tape and see how the Commanders were able to exploit them. And then them not having the whole offensive line together. Sam Cosmi is the best offensive lineman for the Commanders by far. Losing him is a huge deal. It is a huge deal, especially considering the new guy's probably going to see some Jalen Carter. If I'm Vic Fangio, I'm scheming it up so Jalen Carter is going up against the backup, and they're going to be double teaming him all game. You got to think, with a backup, they're going to be double teaming Jalen Carter, and that's going to open up some spots for other Eagles pass rushers, right? Like Josh Sweat. I expect the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game. They're going to score some points. I don't think the Commanders are going to be able to stop Saquon Barkley. I think he could go for another 200-yard game. I really, really do. And unless Jaden Daniels carves up the Eagles' defense for 5 touchdown passes, they're not going to run the ball effectively against the Eagles' front, especially without Sam. I don't see any way that's possible. They really got to secure Jayden Daniels in the pocket. He ran for over 80 yards in that last game, and that was a killer, man. He runs for first downs, extends drives, keeps the Eagles' defense out there. But I think the Philadelphia Eagles get it done. I'm going 28-17. The Philadelphia Eagles win this game, and they cover. I expect Jalen Hurts in that knee injury to not really run as much, but still run. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are really going to just want to run the ball with Saquon Barkley, man. Don't get too cute with it. Don't try to get too fancy with these bootlegs and this bullshit. Just run the ball down the Commander's throat, control the clock, and keep Jayden Daniels off the field. That should be the game plan going forward, and I think they do it. The over-under's at 47. Money line's at minus 285. That's probably a little too rich for my blood, unless you want to parlay the Eagles with the Chiefs or the Buffalo Bills. And home field advantage is huge. Communication is so paramount in the playoffs, guys, especially with a backup offensive lineman. The Commanders thought they were allowed in the regular season. They haven't seen anything yet. I'm not just saying this because I'm a Philadelphia Eagles homer, obviously, but just the matchups, man. The Eagles' defense against their offense, guys. I mean, McLaurin needs to be shut down, right? And Zacchaeus had a really good game. And for a touchdown prop, Zach Ertz is looking pretty juicy, in my opinion. But this Eagles defense has been playing great. Oren Burks, who's filling in for Nakobe Dean, has been playing pretty good. So I'm not really worried about that injury either. I expect the Philadelphia Eagles to play really good defense, keep this Jayden Daniels-led offense contained. I think they're going to contain the football. And then if you look at the flip side, the Eagles' offensive line is just so much better than the front seven of the Washington Commanders. Saquon Barkley goes for over 175 yards, over 20 carries, and I'm saying at least one touchdown in this spot. I like the Philadelphia Eagles 28-17 to win this game. Now let's move on to the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, NFL fans, let's take a look at some of the matchups before I break down my score prediction. Chiefs on defense against this Josh Allen-led offense, man. He really did a great job spreading the ball out. Cooper, Shakir, Coleman, Kincaid. Cook was a big factor in this spot. Karlaftis had like the game of his career last week. He was unstoppable. But I think Brown's going to put the kibosh on that. The Chiefs' defense is very, very good. They got to stop Jones. They're not a great defense, but they're a very, very good defense. But I just think Josh Allen is playing on a whole nother level right now. So I give the slight advantage to the Buffalo Bills offense in this spot. And if we flip it over, guys, flip it over to the Bills on defense, they definitely need Christian Benford to be healthy. Almost an 80 grade. If he doesn't play in this spot, I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs straight up. I'm going to tell you that right now, straight up. And the linebackers have to be better. They got to shut down Travis Kelce. They can't be dropping in zone and leaving Kelce to just wander like a nomad in the middle of the football field. If they do that, it's going to be a long day. The Buffalo Bills defense is, I don't know, so-so. I give the advantage to the Kansas City Chiefs offense, especially with Patrick Mahomes at the helm. The running game has been very lackluster, though, for the Kansas City Chiefs, guys. Something to definitely take into consideration. So, who do I think wins this game? Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs. Bills are getting 1.5. Pretty much even on the money line. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills. I think Josh Allen is just playing such good football. And if the Buffalo Bills defense is able to contain Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson and that offense, they're a little more explosive than this Chiefs offense is. I think the Texans had a really shitty game plan against the Chiefs, and there's no way the Chiefs are getting 8 sacks against Josh Allen and the Bills. There's no way that's happening. And the Buffalo Bills are a lot more disciplined of a football team than the Texans are. The Texans are one of the most highly penalized teams in the NFL on both sides of the ball, and that showed they had 8 more penalties in that spot. I just have this feeling that it's Josh Allen's year, guys. They're going to shut down Travis Kelce, who was wide open in those plays. He looks older. He looks slower. He was just so wide open in the middle of those zones, and the Texans made no adjustments. So that's on DeMeco Ryans, dude. What the hell are you doing? I think Sean McDermott's going to make those adjustments, shut down Travis Kelce, and make somebody else not named Travis Kelce beat you. Patrick Mahomes got a lot of calls in that spot. I did a video on what I thought about the calls in that game, so make sure you check that out in the description below. I like the Buffalo Bills in a nail-biter game. I'm going 28-27. The Buffalo Bills get it done, guys. And thank the Lord that the Kansas City Chiefs will not be in another Super Bowl. But I might just put a buttload of money on the Chiefs. If they win, I make money. And if I lose, the Chiefs aren't going to the Super Bowl. So that's a win-win situation for me. And minus 125, putting a $50, $100 bet on the Chiefs doesn't sound like a bad idea to me. And if the Bills win, great. Then the Buffalo Bills are in the Super Bowl and the Chiefs do not get the three-peat. But 28-27, the Buffalo Bills get it done. And my Eagles also win 28-17 and dominate Jayden Daniels. What a year for Jayden Daniels. What a year for Saquon Barkley. What a year for Josh Allen. All these superstars look so good, and then the Chiefs are just kind of beating everybody and not looking great doing it, which is blowing my mind. But I think the Chiefs' luck ends here. The Bills were able to beat them earlier in the year. I think they win again. Bills, Eagles, in your Super Bowl. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.